Phil Phails at writing a theme song. He doesn't know the words to sing. If success is the flash in the pan, my friend, then failure's most everything. Phil Phails for you. Phil Phails for you. You first got involved in Buddhism here in Austin.
Yeah, here in Austin.
Okay. Where'd you go?
At the Shambhala Center.
Yeah.
And there, somebody told me about improv. Then I see improv as a really spiritual practice. I see it as the tantric practice in the way.
Yeah.
Because it's letting go of attachment and being in the moment. You
Absolutely.
know? Not being afraid to make a fool of yourself, not being attached to this ego, you know.
Yeah.
So improv was my second spiritual practice. And then in that improv, somebody talked about psychedelics. And specifically ayahuasca. And so I went to Peru and in the Amazon and I did ayahuasca, and that really opened my eyes, and it showed me what all religions are pointing to. This
universal
divinity.
consciousness.
Yeah. And it was shown to me, and that's when I became a non-atheist, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow.
You saw it. This is very similar to you and I. I found improv first. Shout out to Best Friends and Belly Laughs, which is where we met at the facilitator training. Wonderful community here in Austin.
Right.
They're still doing free classes where they teach people of all kind of levels. I think they're doing it online and in person now. Wonderful community. And after that, I discovered the Buddhism. And that's where, when I started going to the Buddhist kind of contemplative practice communities, that's where I realized, hey, there's a similarity between these two.
Right.
Improv is actually a spiritual practice, and Buddhism is a practice of improv. There is this like symbiotic relationship between the two of them. 100%. And it was so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. So ayahuasca. So you're on a journey of learning and growing. You're on a journey of new things, discovery, opening your mind in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned, another themes is transformation, right? So this divorce was really that turning point in me, where I was like, okay, I have done everything that was expected of me by my family, by my society, and still there is this pain that I have now, you know. And so I was really like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. At this point, it was like, if somebody that I have resonance with mentions a thing like, oh, I tried improv and it was good, I'm like, okay. A door appears and I go walk through the door.
Yeah.
You know, and then outside, I don't know. Then another door appears and then I walk through that door, you know. So I was just open to trying anything.
Yeah. I think of like having a real yes brain. You were like, you were a yes to new experience, a yes to uncertainty, a yes to adventure. You were a yes to all of these things. And how could you not be influenced, and how could your mind not be changed, I would say, for the better?
Right. Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, especially improv is a big part of that, because, you know, it teaches us the yes and also like opening our mind up, like the mind makes these neural networks that becomes solidified, and, you know, certain input leads to certain output, because it is a, you know, that is the pattern that has been reinforced again and again.
Yep.
That improv forces us to think outside that pattern with you know, examples like new choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New choice.
New choice.
Yeah.
New choice.
New choice. Yeah.
And your brain literally has to be like, oh, expand. Yeah.
And then ayahuasca, what was that like? You went to Peru and you found ayahuasca. What was that like?
I mean, I had never done any drugs, any psychedelics,
Nothing.
not like alcohol. I had tasted it, but I had never been drunk. I had never been even tipsy. I had just drunk, tasted alcohol. So it was my first ever psychedelic or any type of that experience. And the Buddhist meditation practices, they really helped me in my ayahuasca. Like, whenever things became really intense, I could be in my meditation. And that's where I thought, oh, wow, these two ancient technologies of the East and the West, in a way, they complement each other. And I had a beautiful experience.
What was the format for the ayahuasca? Did you do it, what was the ceremony around the experience? Was it multiple nights? Like, what was the whole environment? Like, the context, what was it like?
Right. So, I mean, first it was really remote. So, like, you fly, so to Peru, the capital is Lima. You fly into Lima, then you take another local flight to a town in the Amazon named Iquitos. This
What was
town,
it called again?
Iquitos. And this town doesn't have any road access to the outside world. It is in the Amazon, and there are roads internally, but there is no road access to outside. You fly into that. Then you take a taxi to the river for an hour. Then you take a boat in the river for 2 hours. Then you hike in the Amazon for another half an hour. And so it was like that remote. And it was the people leading the ceremony were, of the local people. And the format was that you do it for 5, you stay there for 5 nights, let's say Monday to Friday, and you take it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is off, and you take it again Thursday, Friday. And then for me, and then you take it at night after it's dark at around 8 o'clock ish. And you journey for how much ever time. They sing these songs named Ikiros, and they blow tobacco smoke on your face. And when I went there, I was an atheist, and so I was like, these Ikiros and these blessings of this smoke, this is all drama, and I'm here really for the substance. But as I was in it, I could feel each Ikiros starting a new ride, and that ride climaxing with the Ikiros and then resolving, and then the next Ikiros starting another exploration inside, and then the blessings also. I was like, wow, this is, these guys have access to some technology that I was not able to respect earlier.
You weren't an atheist after that.
I was not an atheist after that. Yeah.
How did you find your way? You said you fly to Lima, you take a plane to this town that has no road in the Amazon to get to. Then you take a taxi to a river, 2 hours down the river, one half hour hiking in the jungle.
Yeah.
How did you find your way to this place?
Like I said, in those days I was just following anybody tells me I had this experience. Wow, I'm like, okay, if you can do it, I can try it too.
Yeah.
And at one of my Buddhist meditation, I met a girl who was, a small girl.
A girl.
A girl.
That's what has happened.
Yeah, and like the muses really have helped me
Yeah.
to transform multiple times in my life. It is, the feminine has this role of attracting and then taking us down up the path. Then even though she did not, travel with me or anything, I was like, oh, if she can do this remote thing, then I can do it too,
Yeah.
just to be a hero in her eyes or something, Yeah.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Were there other Westerners there, or what was the mix of maybe folks from America or other countries and folks from Peru?
In the people doing it, there was no Peruvians. It was all, Swiss and Costa Rica and Australia, But yeah, the people running it were the local people.
Yeah. Was it rustic? Were you staying in
Yeah,
tents or?
it is like a hut with a mosquito net around it, like just a thatched roof, palm leaves and stuff, and then just a mosquito net around it.
Was it expensive?
I mean, for the amount of transformation it has had in my life, it was a deal.
Yeah, it was cheap.
It was cheap. It was like maybe $1,000 for the whole 5 days or so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the travel and stuff. But at that, earlier I would be hesitant to spend $1,000 on any experience like this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was born and raised in economic scarcity in a way, so $1,000 is But yeah, on this transformation path, I've found that multiple things have really, like, that money I paid is nothing compared to the transformation I got out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so this is all before you even discovered Tantra.
Yes.
This was improv, Buddhism, ayahuasca, so
Right.
kind of fun and play, some deeper spirituality, and then psychedelics, all kind of in the same vein of transformative experiences.
Right.
Things that I think improv opens your mind, and then Buddhism, meditation, stills that mind, and then, man, ayahuasca.
Yeah, have you tried it?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I did the ketamine assisted psychotherapy
Uh-huh.
here in town, and that was wild.
Wow.
I did probably 9 sessions of that with an IV,
Uh-huh.
and it was a pretty intense experience. I think it definitely tapped me into that universal consciousness and reset some things for me. I definitely believe in psychedelic as a format for healing and for growth work.
Absolutely. Yeah.